In working with Excel workbooks, most of our time will be spent conceptualizing our workbook or worksheets. We'll be figuring out what type of sheets to build and what the formulas need to be. Although the basic setup of the interface in Excel is probably going to meet most of our needs, there are some viewing options that we can change, as well as some elements on the screen that we can toggle on and off. In this lesson, we're just going to take a look at the many options available on the View ribbon and see how we can customize our environment. To start off, let's just talk about the two primary ways you can view your worksheet. There's the normal view, which we use most of the time. And let's go to the Layout tab, and to get to that you just click on Normal View. We're already on it, so we can just click here. Now the normal view is the general purpose view. You see all the contents of the cells, but don't necessarily see extraneous items that you'll see in other views. It's useful for optimizing the amount of space that you have on the monitor so you can focus on doing the work. The second view you can see in the other button is the Page Layout view. Now this view shows some elements that only appear when you're printing the workbook. It shows the header section, which is right here, and at the bottom you have the footers, the margins, and it also shows the different page breaks. You see where the different pages are going to go from one to the next. Now there's a couple of ways to switch views. One of the easiest is just from the Layout ribbon, where you can click on Normal and Page Layout. The other is at the bottom of the screen, and these are neat because no matter what tab I'm on, I could switch views down here on the bottom left just by clicking Normal or Page Layout. So we'll stay on the Normal for now. So there's several elements of the screen that we can turn on and off to help us do our work. From the View category of the Layout tab, we see we have a couple more check boxes. We've got Gridlines, headings, and breaks, and we'll talk about the ruler in just a second. Now the grid lines are simply the little gray lines that designate what a cell is, and if I take those off, you still have the same cells and the same navigation, you just don't see the grid lines. The headings are a little more dramatic. That's actually the row and column headings. You can take those off, and then if you see this blue line here in this column, and it comes across here, that's actually a soft page break. That's where Excel is going to start printing on the next page. And you can take those off just for viewing as well. As we turn all these off, Excel seems to kind of not look like the Excel that we know. So you might say, what's the point? Well, sometimes when you make a really nice worksheet, it's nice to take some of those working elements off, like the column headers and the grid lines. But more than that, you might get a worksheet one day where somebody's turned these off, and instead of wondering what's wrong with Excel, you know they're just elements that you can toggle on and off, so it's good to know how to get them back on the screen. Now, we talked about the ruler a little bit. That option is only available in the Page Layout view, and the ruler is this area above the column headings, and you can adjust your margins there and adjust cell sizes too. But that works like any of the other viewing elements. You can toggle that on and off as well by using the ruler checkbox. Let's take the ruler off and go back to our normal view. Now the last option we're going to talk about in this section is the zoom. Now the zoom affects the magnification of your Excel workbook, and you might need to make something bigger, for example, in doing these videos. Sometimes we have to zoom in so you can see things a little better. So the zoom icon is up here on the toolbar, and you can make things larger or smaller as need be. And it's also on the View menu at the top of Excel. You can go down to Zoom and you get all the options. You've got Custom and all the other options here. Now one thing I want to show you that's kind of interesting, let's highlight a few cells and say we want to look at those. One of the options on the Zoom drop down is Selection. So whatever cells we have selected, Excel is going to zoom so that those are as big as they can be and still fit in the screen. So this one increased it by 386%. That's a really neat option for zoom. So Excel provides us a very rich interface to do our spreadsheet work, and also provides us many different ways to customize the way the interface looks and feels. While it's usually a good idea to keep things as simple as possible, it's also nice to see that there are many options out there if we need to make some interface adjustments.